Man, this weekend, this is so exciting. I got a chance to meet with so many people yesterday that came by HQ, that came in early. There's so many stories in this room today. You know, there's so many people right now that are going through challenges that some of you guys shouldn't even be here right now, but you found a way to make it happen. It's like when you hear these stories, I mean, there's so many of them in this room today, and that's getting the most out of this weekend. That's what this is all about. So this weekend is all about you. Like, you've got to capture as much. You got to be thinking right now, hey, look, I'm going to get so much out of this weekend, because we control how much information we learn. We can control how much notes that we take and how much information that we learn. And there's so many people right now that are going to come out of this convention different than they were walking in. You're going to come out of here a different person. You're going to come out of here with a brand new commitment. You're going to come out of this event this weekend saying, hey, look, you know what? I'm going to the top. I'm going to make it happen. You're going to be thinking to yourself, hey, look, you know what? Nothing can stop me. Nothing can get my way. When you come out of this conference this weekend, you're going to be saying to yourself, this is my time to do something great. This is my time to do something special. Nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to get my way. You're going to be thinking to yourself, hey, look, over, under, or through, I'm going to win. And it's because of the attitude and the mindset that you've got, and it starts off right now. It's really capturing as much as you can this Friday. You guys have worked hard to get in here. I know some of you are obviously running to become team leaders. I know a lot of team leaders in here are running to become directors. Everybody right now is running for rank. And I'm going to talk to you today and share with you some ideas and share some concepts with you that were taught to me very early on that helped me in this industry when I first got started. Because when I got started, I was scared, I was nervous, I was doubtful, but I was hopeful. Because the people that were there, they were saying, hey, look, you know what? We'll show you how to do this. We'll teach you how to do this. And I was thinking to myself, man, you know what? This is awesome, getting a chance to be able to learn from people that know how to win. And I just try to learn as much as I can and capture as much information as I can. And today, we're going to share with you some ideas on how to create momentum. Because momentum, once you get momentum down, once you understand how to create momentum in your organization, you're going to be like, man, this is it. You're going to see things start to happen for you. You're going to start to see your organization start to grow. And you're going to think to yourself, man, you know what? Before I knew how to create momentum, this business was so difficult. This business was so challenging. And a lot of it starts off with your attitude and your mindset. And it's being grateful. And Mr. Danny Bay and Steve did such an amazing job just now of really setting the tone for this weekend. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped like never before. After Danny was done, I was like, that's all I needed right there. Wait till you, hey, wait. Woo! Wait till you guys see what's happening tomorrow. I can't even, I was like, what? That's what I said. I said, what? Danny Bay we went to dinner last night, Steve and Gary and Chris and I with Mr. Danny Bay, and I'm like, what? This is unbelievable what's going to happen this weekend. So I'm going to stop there, because I don't need anybody pressuring me to tell them. Somebody's going to be like, tell me. I'm like, no. So here we go. We're going to talk about the 7 laws of great momentum, and I'm going to see which one. Here we go. So we're going to go back. The biggest thing is when you understand something is that momentum is a leader's best friend, right? And I'm a big fan of John C. Maxwell. But when a train is traveling at full speed, you guys all know this, right? When a train is at full speed, you can put a 5-foot concrete steel reinforced wall in front of that train. But when a train is moving at full speed, it'll slice through that wall. But if you take that exact same train and you put it in a stop position, you can put just a little 1-inch thick little block in front of it. Guess what would happen? That same train, guess what? Couldn't be started. Same train, 1-inch thick, right in front of its, I think those are called wheels, but on that train, 1-inch thick block would stop it from moving. So if you have to ask yourself, what's the difference? What's the difference between this 5-foot concrete steel reinforced wall and the little 1-inch brick thing? What's the difference? Why it goes through it is through momentum. When a train has momentum, it'll slice through it, right? So we've got to create momentum in our organization. And that's the magic, right? How do we create momentum? How do we get momentum working for us, right? Let's talk a little bit about it, what it looks like, right? This is the way that I was taught early on, is creating momentum number one stage, right? Creating momentum. And there's a couple laws that Johnson Maxwell talks about, the law of the big moan, the law of victories, how to create momentum. Whenever you start having victories in your organization and you celebrate and you get excited about it, that's how you create momentum. Any of you that have kids, you know, right? It's like watching my granddaughter learning how to walk. It's like, man, this is unbelievable, right? Watching my granddaughter learn how to walk, it gets me so inspired. Because I'm like, dang, man, look at her go for it. And everybody gets pumped up. When she takes one step, everybody loses their mind. You guys go up. You're like, woo! And everybody's so pumped, right? Everybody's clapping and getting fired up. And then she falls down, and then she looks and everybody's clapping, and she just kind of like claps, and then she tries it again, tries it again, tries it again. And I'm pretty confident she's gonna learn how to walk someday. That's basically momentum, but it's about getting excited about it. Like today, when it comes to walking, we got momentum, right? You got momentum under your belt when it comes to walking. A lot of you don't even have to think about it, right? You're just walking all over the place. Right? Have you ever noticed you're just walking everywhere? When was the last time you said, dang, I'm walking everywhere, look at this? But there was a point in time where you struggle with it, isn't it true? So what do we got to do? It's the same thing with anything. You know, Mr. Gary Day said that we can learn how to do anything, and that's an absolute fact. So, you know, then we advance the momentum, then we sustain the momentum. So let's talk a little bit about how this thing works, okay? You've got to have absolute focus. The biggest thing that I want to share with you is absolute focus. You've got to have absolute focus. And I'm focusing on the wrong projector, so. Is it okay if we have fun? I'm just getting some permission. I think I'm doing it anyway. So the four stages, these are the three stages of momentum, right? But let's talk a little bit about it. You've got to have absolute focus, okay? You've got to have absolute focus. And that's where everything comes from. And you've got to focus on the right things, okay? And when you think about what I focus on, here's what I want to ask you. When somebody came up to me and they said, Tim, Herr, right, would you rather have 1,000 customers or 1,000 planners? Most people would say Tim would rather have 1,000 planners for sure. Wrong, I'd rather have 1,000 customers than 1,000 planners. And some of you are like, what? No way, 100%. But if you ask me would I rather have 1,000 leaders or 1,000 customers, guess what I'd rather have? 1,000 leaders. So understanding that our primary focus when we get somebody started is to teach, train, and duplicate and develop them into a leader. That's the primary. Why do you build a team? Why do I share a remodel with so many people all the time? And get people introduced to the content, get them introduced to what we're doing. And encourage them to want to get started with us as planners. Why do I do that? Because I'm developing leaders. That's what we're all doing, right? We're developing leaders. So let's talk a little bit about what we've got to do in order to be able to make that happen, right? Talking about that absolute focus. A lot of you would agree with me, right? Today was hot. What's going on? I know Robert and Joan, you guys live out here, man. Like last week it was raining. It's hot now. What happened? It was last weekend, it was raining, now it's hot. But you could go outside today when it was the hottest of today, take some newspaper, right? You could take a magnifying glass and you could hold it a few inches above that magnifying glass above that newspaper. And you could keep moving around that magnifying glass and nothing would happen. But as soon as you stop it and hold it there, within a few minutes it's gonna burst into flames. Same magnifying glass, but the difference is the focus. So we've got to focus in. We got to focus in on developing leadership. And how do we do that? Let's talk a little bit about it. Okay. Law number 3 is this, right? Is you want to never deviate or complicate, right? Once you get a primary focus of what you're doing, never deviate or complicate. Like, give you an example of what I'm talking about when I say that, okay? This is what we all know is to be true. Everybody in this room by now knows this is how we become a senior manager. 6,000 in sales points, anything that I sell or buy counts, and anything that anybody I introduce, whatever they sell or buy counts, and I can count to 3,000 from one recruit. We all know that, right? This is it. Like this is it. This is the magic. This is the secret sauce. This is where you want to focus. Getting people to this position. You guys have done it. I love talking to this group because you guys have done it. Everybody in this room is a senior manager hire. So you know how to walk. Now we just got to teach other people how to walk. And guess what happens? We start to explode, right? We start to create massive momentum. So the hardest way to become a national director is focus on getting to national director. The easiest and the most simplest way to become a national director is focus on promoting senior managers. My mentor told me, said, Tim, have you ever boiled water? And I'm like, of course I boil water. He goes, where do you put the flame at the top of the bottle? He goes, it's the new people that matter. That's the most important thing in your organization. You've got to focus on the brand new person that just got started. That person is the lifeblood of your organization. You've got to make sure that that new person is having success. There's people that are going to be here, guess what? This weekend. Think about this. There's people that are going to be here this weekend that have just gotten started, or maybe aren't even a senior manager yet. And our focus has got to be to do what? Everybody in this room is like, oh, I want to be a director, man. What are you talking about? That's my focus. I want to be a national director, man. What are we talking about? Then focus on their success. Focus on their success. Focus on making sure that you're there for them and creating an environment and getting excited whenever they take little baby steps. So like, let me give you the prime example. This is like this, I love this one, okay? This is what success in Remon looks like, okay? This is what success in Remon looks like, not this. Let me share with you what is not this. You guys see this guy? I know this guy's probably a famous drummer, and he's probably rad, like a super cool guy or whatever. I have no idea who it is, though, but I know he's probably really good because he looks like he's serious. This is not how you become successful in Remon. This is how you become successful in Remon. Simple, duplicatable. When I got started, I said, Mr. Hey, what's our system? He said, very simple, Tim. He goes, we do pop-ups. I go, okay, perfect. Orientations, overviews. I said, done. And he goes, that all revolves around convention. I said, perfect, let's go. Like, it's very simple. I don't need it. It's not about, you don't try to recreate the wheel. You guys ever notice that? The wheel's been the same wheel forever. Like, it's like forever, right? I don't even know when the wheel was invented, but like, way before I was born. And I've never seen it change. Would you guys agree? You don't want to try to change the wheel, because then the wheel will stop rolling. You just focus in and duplicate and focus in on your brand new people, right? I love, you guys all know, like, I'm a big fan of this book, right? Your First Year Network Marketing. Like, when I read it for the first time, I was like blown away. I'm like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed. But in that book, right, chapter 6 is called, it is about the scatter bombs, right? And the scatter bomb is like a mental explosion that obscures the focus of distributors, right? Causing them to stop using the system taught by their upline. And they start to try to just go off and do what that drummer was doing, right? Our business is a business system built on duplication, right? Our downlines will do what they see us do. So we are the pace setters, right? You are the pace setter of your organization. You're the pace setter, okay? So what you want to be doing is copy and paste, Control C, Control V. If you're driving down the street and somebody's behind you, following you, that's basically, have you guys ever followed somebody somewhere? Best way to get somewhere. I'm like, hey, Mr. Danny Bay, where do you live? He's like, just jump in my car, I'll show you. Like, or just follow me, I'll show you. And I just drive in the car behind him. It's super simple to get there that way. That's how I get places. I just follow other people. So it's like, Danny Bay, what are we doing here? Show me, boom. And I'm just gonna get right behind you. I'm not gonna off-road it. Can you imagine that? We've all had that happen, where we're like, oh, there's a yellow light, I better stop because my guy behind me that's following me is not gonna be able to make the right light. Can you imagine if you looked in the rearview mirror and that person's just over off-roading it? You're like, what is this dude doing on this sidewalk trying to hit people? You're like, what is this crazy person doing? We don't want to be that person. We want to follow what works, right? So we got to make sure that we focus in and make sure that we streamline our DMO, right? So basically, our DMO is what? Our daily method of operation. What's your DMO look like? If you looked at my schedule, guess what you would say to yourself? You would say, wow, this guy talks to a lot of people about Remon every day. Because my mentor told me, he said, spend major time on major things. He said, don't spend major time on minor things. And I asked him, I said, major time, minor time, what is this? And I go, what's major time? He said, in the presence of prospects. I go, what's minor time? He said, anything else. I'm like, this is the best information I've ever heard. So basically, major time is in the presence of prospects. Everything else is minor time. So I like to get in front of prospects every single day. And I like to overbook my calendar with money-making activities, which is talking to people, right? So what are we doing? What are we trying to do to be able to create momentum, right? There's one major focus, and it's basically this: becoming a senior manager factory. I'm literally right now giving you guys the cheat codes to the video games. I'm giving you right now like unlimited lives. I'm giving you right now, you don't even have to put another quarter in the machine. Like, you can just play until you win now. Senior manager factory. This is it. This is it. Senior manager factory. The most important activities when a brand new person gets started on your team. You guys have all, any of you guys that are sports fans know who Bill Russell is. If you're a basketball fan, you better know who Bill Russell is. But he was the best basketball player of all time, right? He won 11 NBA championships. And he was brought in to talk to the Celtics before one of their games. And they asked Bill Russell, they said, Bill Russell, why did you guys always win? And he's a real humble person. And he said, because I have an ego. And everybody was taken back. And he said, I have an ego for my team. I want my team to win. He goes, my sophomore season in San Francisco, we lost in the playoffs. And I went in the locker room and I cried. And I cried and I cried and I cried. I go, I don't ever want to lose again. The next 2 years, they won the championship in college. He went on and he played in the NBA and won every year but the year that he got hurt. And he says, my biggest regret in life is let my team down when I got hurt. What I'm telling you is this, when somebody gets started on your team, you gotta have that attitude, hey, they just got started with the right person. I'm gonna make sure no matter what they make it. That's gotta be your mindset. You gotta take pride in your team. If somebody gets started, they're on your team, or with you, they just hit the jackpot. That's gotta be your mindset. They just literally won the lottery. Because you're gonna make sure no matter what that they go to the top. You're gonna navigate them away from the landmines. And you've got what it takes. You gotta be thinking, I've got what it takes. Mainly after this weekend, you're gonna come out of this convention and be like, man, I got what it takes. I got powered up, I got focused, I know exactly what I need to do. So always remember what Lao Tzu said, right? Lao Tzu said what? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with that first step. The first step in Remon is going senior manager. Getting to senior manager. Once you get to senior manager, guess what you do? Create a senior manager. And then guess what you do? Create a senior manager. And guess what you do? Create a senior manager. Guess how long you keep doing that? Until you've got too much money. And you're like, whoa, this is too much money. When your banker goes, when you walk into the bank and they all stand up and start clapping for you, that's whenever you stop making senior managers, right? And you're like, okay, we did it, right? Danny's like, no, I did still clap for me, but I still keep making it back. Woo! So how do we do it? We play tag, okay? We play tag. You guys remember tag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 right here. Now guess what? Here I come. That's it. Tag grid, tag grid. The quicker Mr. Danny May talked about, if you want to make it duplicatable, it's all about simplicity. Simplicity breeds duplication, we know that. There's nothing more simpler than the game of tag. Literally. Like I can remember taking my kids to the park and watching these little kids that didn't even know each other playing tag, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, when they grow up, they're going to be so good at what I do. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's all I do. I get paid to play tag. Like, we're the highest paid tag players on the planet. You and I get paid to play tag. And if you're like, well, I'm not getting paid a lot, well, then you're not playing a lot of tag. We just gotta play more tag. We just tag it. I mean, you got this. You can do this, okay? You know, so break out the big crowns. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say break out the big crowns? Any of you that are preschool teachers, you know what I'm talking about. When they're little preschoolers, the crowns are big. They're not the small ones, not the 32 different varieties. It's like 4 colors, and it's like, boom, they're big. My mentor told me, break out the big crowns. I was sitting in the training just like this. I wrote that down. I said, that's the jackpot city. I'm gonna use that all day long. I love it. Think about how powerful that is. I'm like, what? Break out the big crowns? That is amazing. I love that. So think about it. We gotta be playing tag, okay? Change your face, change your finances. Right? When Mr. Thompson and Mrs. Thompson came in, they were using the products and they were like, dang, this stuff changes the faces. Oh, now we help people change their faces. So before now, just change people's finances. I was like, that is gold. So ignorance on fire, guess what? Beats intelligence on ice. I'm living proof of that. Everybody that's ever listened to watch any of my trainings before, I'll do a lot of help out with the team leaders, anything I never ever did. There's always spellings, errors. You guys know what I'm talking about? You guys know what a spelling error is? You know what I mean? On some words, when I'm spelling stuff on my phone, it's like spell checks. Like, I don't even know what you're trying to do. Spell checks, like, I don't even know what you're attempting to spell. You're not even in the ballpark, man. All I'm telling you is this, it's not what you know, it's how you feel about what you know, man. When you light yourself on fire, people will come from miles to watch you burn. Just get excited about not where you are, but about where you're going. Play KISS. Play KISS, right? KISS. K-I-S-S. Keep it super simple. Make a list and play tag. That's it. Keep it super simple. K-I-S-S. Keep it super simple. Keep it super simple. It's not about making it simple, it's about making it simpler. Get people started, play tag, make a list. I'm gonna show you guys this. I'm gonna actually pass out a list for you guys all today right here, okay? This is a list. This right here is basically the most important thing that you have in your business. Is your what? List. If you don't have a list made, you're not really in this business yet. People are like, what did you do when you first got started in Remon? I got started, I knew why I was doing it, right? I got a package, became a senior manager right away, and guess what I did? Made a list. And then guess what I did with that list? I played tag. What? I promise you, the list is it. Like, when you get a brand new person started, how much time do you spend making a list with them? Because if you make a list with your brand new person, you 10x their chance of becoming a senior manager. You 10x their chance of winning. Because when they start reaching out to people, they have a real list, not a list in their phone. I know everybody says, well, I've got my list on my phone, Tim. I've got this trick. No, you can't see 100 numbers and 100 names at one time. When you have 100 names on a list and you approach somebody, guess what you've got? Posture. You've got so much posture. But if you, in your mind, you don't even have a list, that's like not having an inventory. You've got to have an inventory. My list is my everything. Like today, last night, I was with this game and I'm like, look what you sent me. Oh, they responded to me. They're on my list. Like I have a list that I'm every single day, all I'm doing is what? Working my list. And then when somebody gets started or they don't get started, I get referrals. Because when somebody gets started, if they've got a list, guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen to them? If they have a list, they're going to have success. And their people have a list. If everybody's making lists, they're having success. This is like the most basic stuff. And it's sometimes overlooked. I promise you right now, if you come out of this convention this weekend and all you remember is make lists, your business is going to grow. Because your people are going to have posture. Your people are going to be excited. Because basically what you want to be is what? I'm a workhorse, I'm not a show pony. I'm not a show pony. You understand? I'm a workhorse. Danny Bay, workhorse. That's why I love following. I love to follow Danny Bay. Because he sets the pace. I'm not a show pony. I'm not up here. I'm probably saying words wrong. I'm talking too fast. I sound goofy when I laugh. I'm all up. It's like everybody. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm trying to get this information across to you. What you think about me doesn't matter, right? What I know about me is all that matters, and making sure that you get this information. So you've got to be a workhorse if you want to make the big bucks. And how do you do that? Focus on lists when brand new people get started. So let me write this thing up here. 7 laws of creating momentum, grow people, and you're going to grow your business, okay? So let me give you an example, okay? I'm not going to go through this one. I'm not going to have time for this one. Here's what I'm going to show you. There's 4 stages of growth, right? Unconscious, incompetent. That's when you're unaware and you can't do it. Incompetent meaning you can't do it. Unconscious meaning what? Unaware. And then what happens, right? Then you become aware that you can't do it. This is how you learn how to walk, right? You're consciously incompetent. My granddaughter right now is consciously incompetent. She's seeing everybody else walk around, and guess what she wants to do? Walk around. And so she'll put herself up on the couch and be like, all right, I'm gonna join the team. And then she'll take a step and then fall, and everybody goes crazy. Right? That's what's happening right now. And there'll be a point where she'll become consciously competent. Well, she'll do it, and she'll be like, ooh, you guys know what I'm talking about. And then she'll be like you and I, right? We'll become unconsciously competent. Where we're unaware, we don't even think about it, we just do it. Everything's like that. So what Danny Bay was talking about when people get started in this business, and after 3 weeks, they are like, I don't think I'm gonna be good at this. It's like, what? You learn how to walk, of course you can do this. You know, I just noticed you walked here. If somebody can walk, they can learn how to do this business. Some people are gonna learn faster than others, but we've got to learn. So guess what we've got to do? We've got to start successful. We want to become successful. Right when people get started, our primary focus is getting them to senior manager, getting excited about everything they do. They make a list go crazy. They schedule pop-up go crazy. And on the backside of the list, there's something called NC DART. Network, credibility, desire, attitude, resource, teachability. I'm not going to go over that today. But what I'm telling you is this, help them go through that stuff with them. And then they tell you, oh, this person, you get excited about their list. Oh my God, that person sounds perfect. Right? And you get them all fired up about their list. This is the basics, okay? So we all know, right? People get started, we do a connection call with them, right? A welcome call, get to know your brand new people, right? Mainly if you're a team leader or higher, right? And basically what we do, right? We get them on an orientation, right? We help them make their list. And basically what we do, we schedule within 24 to 48 hours if they want to make a lot of money fast. We set up a meeting fast, right? And we do what we call like a launch meeting, right? Your first pop-up at your house. Or off Zoom if they live in a rural area. Get it on a Zoom or whatever it might be. We're getting people exposed to the opportunity, getting people exposed to the products, okay? Very simple. And then what do? Right? We teach them how to schedule that, and we teach them how to invite, right? Some people like to attract. Attracting is great, but you also want to attack your list. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't want to just wait for people to talk to you. You've got to talk to them, right? Reach out. Don't be afraid, right? Why? Because let me tell you something. Once you know that you're going to become wealthy and you're going to walk out of this convention, by Sunday, you're going to say, okay, I got it. I'm 100% convinced this is it. This is my time. You're going to know it. And you're going to be afraid not to introduce people to this opportunity. You understand? I'm afraid not to introduce people to this opportunity. Why? Because I don't want people getting mad at me because I never gave them the opportunity to be able to participate with me. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? 5 years from now, you're wealthy beyond imagination. 5 years from now, you live in a quality of lifestyle that's second to none. And you see one of your friends or one of your old friends are like, how come you never told me about this? Like, I figured you wouldn't be interested. What? They're not going to be your friend no more. So I make sure everybody that I know, I come in contact with them. So I make a list, and Mr. Chris Kidd's going to have some amazing inviting and recruiting training this weekend, so I'm not going to get into it. I'm going to let him do that. And basically we talk, we attract, and we invite people, get people there, we pre-talk them, find out what their hot button is. Very simple. Find out what their reason for wanting to join Remon is, okay? And then what do, right? We expose them to the opportunity, right? We share with them Remon. This stuff is so basic, right? Once they do that, we overcome any objection they might have. We simply do what? We enroll, we help them pick a pack, right? Super simple. Plug them into the weekly Zooms. The first 4 weeks is so important to get them into all the Zooms you can. Why? Because you need them to hear other people besides yourself, right? You want to be able to you want to have a system to pin a business, not a person to pin a business. That's how you're able to create massive success, okay? And then obviously we know, right? We create duplicate. It's so basic. It's like playing tag. Like this is what was taught to me very early on. And my mentor didn't show it to me like this. He showed it as a pipe. And he would sit down with me and says, where's the leak at in your pipe? And we would find out where the leak was in my pipe. And we would fix it. And I'm telling you that you can do it. You can make it happen. There's none of this stuff that I showed you here that's difficult to do, right? It's very simple, right? So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna wrap this thing up, is you gotta ask yourself right now, am I a tour guide or a travel agent leader? I'm telling you right now, a tour guide will take you by the hand and get you to the top. When a brand new person gets started on your team, you're basically throwing a party in your mind, like, woo, like confetti's going off in your mind, and what are you doing? Connecting with them and getting them to senior manager right away. And walk them through it. Not a travel agent, not like, hey, this is where you really want to go to senior manager. Let me know when you get there. You understand? You take people by the hand and you make sure they become successful. I always look at it just like babies. Babies are the prime example, right? But a baby is born like, what do you gotta do? Well, you gotta take care of the baby, right? So a successful start is getting somebody to senior manager, okay? The first 24 to 48 hours, we're gonna get connected with them and get results right away. So I'll give you an example as we wrap this thing up. As excitement, we're looking for excitement, right? This is what we're looking for. Get a connection call, welcome call, get like love on them, right? Set up, the pop-up, the first initial launch, right? And what do? We get them to senior manager, get them to team leader, they're winning big. Okay, because what happens if we don't is that they end up in the toilet, right? So we want to make sure that we get people to become successful fast. And it's all about connecting with people and making sure, there they are. Okay, we don't want people to end up in the toilet. Would you guys agree? So we got to make sure we do the connection call, the welcome call. We got to be just in case you missed it, I think I put it in there twice, okay? I asked if it's okay to have fun. So I said, you just threw a toilet up there? I don't know what this dude's talking about. He's talking too fast. I can't even understand what he's talking about. He throws the toilet up. So as we wrap this thing up, confidence is contagious, right? And this is a prime example. And I'm just going to throw this up here. Oh, jeez. Sorry about that. It's basically like this. Imagine that I had 2 chairs. Can you guys visualize 2 chairs? And I put a 2x4 in between them. And I said, I'll give you $1,000 if you walk across that 2x4. Guess what would happen? Everybody would do it. For $1,000, you better believe it. But if I put that between 2 20-story buildings and said, walk across this 2x4, I'll give you $1,000, somebody would do it. Same 2x4. Why would you do it? Because if you fall, you die. What's the difference? The difference is you as a sponsor. When somebody gets started, you got to have so much confidence and conviction that you know that you're going to the top, that you know that you're going to win. And they're going to be afraid not to join you because they know that you know where you're going. You're going to have that confidence that's contagious. You got to know without a shadow of a doubt in your mind that you're going to get them to where they want to go. Mr. Danny Bay did an excellent example talking about the 4 aces, but let me tell you guys something. You don't know if they're an ace or not right away. That's the only difference. You're sorting like crazy, And some of these people are going to turn into aces. Danny Bay talked about it. It took him a little bit of time, but he was an ace the whole time. I saw it right when I met him for the first time. I walked in that room, I said, that's the leader. That's the leader. They go, who's that guy? I go, I'm telling you right now, that's the leader in the room. I go, that's your player, not this other guy. That was the main speaker. I said, that guy's not the guy. That's the guy. You can just see it. You just see leadership on him. I'm telling you, you've got to believe in people. One of my favorite quotes of all time by Abraham Lincoln said, I had a friend. I'm a success today because I had a friend believe in me and I didn't have the heart to let them down. The best gift that you can give to your people is to believe in them. Know that they can win. Know that the people that become successful aren't special. I know I'm not special. I know how I got started. I'll show you guys a picture on Sunday of what I looked like when I got started. I'm telling you, anybody can do it if you're willing to commit to the process, and that's a decision. So we launch people, we make sure that we help them become a success quick. It's all about instant, right away, instant results, instant activity. Somebody makes a phone call, they feel excited, right? They start sharing, reminding people they're excited. Care about them, okay? And if people are either going to want to go on the fast track or a slow track, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. What track do you want to go on? Somebody wants to make an extra, 500,000 a month. Perfect. We'll help them do that. Somebody wants to make an extra 500,000 a week, 500,000 a day. Thompson rule. What are we doing? Boom, we're doing it. Okay. So here's what I want to share with you as we wrap this thing up here. I'm going to put them all up there, but there's leaders that develop leaders and leaders that develop followers. Okay. This is law number 20, the law of 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. John C. This is my favorite law. And there's leaders that develop leaders and leaders that develop followers, right? Leaders that develop leaders, they want to be succeeded. Leaders that develop followers want to be needed, right? Leaders that develop leaders, guess what? They focus on people's strengths. Leaders that develop followers focus on people's weaknesses. Leaders that develop leaders, guess what they do? They focus on the top 20%. Leaders that develop followers focus on the bottom 20%. Leaders that develop leaders, they give the power away. Leaders that develop followers, they hoard the power. Leaders that develop leaders, they grow by multiplication. Leaders that develop basically followers, they grow by addition. Momentum is created by high morale. This is so simple. Momentum is created by high morale. Okay, high morale is created by victory. In our business, victory is getting your brand new people promoted to the rank of senior manager. That's what we've got to do. And we've got to get everybody to senior managers. Just like Popeye, when he eats that can of spinach, game over. Guns are coming out, boom. And the same thing happens every one. I scans all I can scans, I can't scans no more. We get to that point in our life where we say, this is it. We get to that point in our life where we say, this moment in time, this is my time. You get to the point in time where you say, I'm not just going to be in the right place at the right time. I'm not just going to be in the right place at the right time with the right products, with the right opportunity, with the right people. I'm going to step up and I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to make a decision in my mind and I'm going to make a decision in my heart right now, a declaration in my heart right now that I'm going to give it everything that I got, that I'm going all in with this opportunity, that I'm going to be a success, that I'm going to make it happen, that I'm going to win. This is my time. You got to realize, you got to be thinking I'm the lead dog of my organization, right? You got to be thinking to yourself right now, my new people are following my lead, okay? Your new people are either resting, crawling, walking, or running to the next rank, and they're following your lead. We got to lead by example. We got to lead right now and say, this is it, this is my time, this is my chance, that I'm going to make it happen, okay? That I'm going to build an organization right here, right now, that I'm going to go to the top. Over, under, through, I'm going to the top, that I'm going to win. This is my time. You got to be thinking right now, this is my chance. I'm going all out massive action. This weekend, man, I'm going to absorb all the information that I possibly can. I'm going to come out of this convention this weekend a different person. I'm going to charge myself up, and I'm going to come out of here on fire, and people are going to come to watch me burn. This is my time, this is my chance, and you got to be thinking, I'm going to the top. I'm going to take my people with me. Everybody that gets on my team, I'm going to make sure they go senior manager, I'm going to make sure they go team leader, I'm going to make sure they go to director. We're all winning. Everybody's going to win. I'm not going to let anybody get left behind. This is my time, my chance. I'm going all out. I love you guys. I can't wait for this weekend. Let's make it happen, everybody.